Hello and a very warm welcome to everyone on this beautiful morning. My name is Małgorzata Fieda-Davis and I have been working as the Eurodesk Island coordinator with Larga since 2003. I'm really delighted to see so many people attending our special online event today, including participants not only from Ireland but also Belgium and Lithuania and maybe somewhere else in Europe. So I would like to welcome representatives of the European Commission, of the Department of Children and Youth Affairs, the Eurodesk President, NYCI, youth organizations, guidance counselors, Eurodesk network members, our new group of young ambassadors, as well as many young people attending today. The event today will launch Youth Wiki, but also mark the 25th anniversary of Eurodesk in Ireland. Our original plan was to host a big national face-to-face event today. We still hope to host such an event at the end of the year, possibly in November, if possible. But we decided, however, to connect with you today and to share with you some very special examples of what Eurodesk Island people have been doing for the last 25 years to bring Europe and European opportunities to young people closer to every young person and to translate all these great opportunities that we have into successful individual stories of young people, especially those with few opportunities who might have otherwise never thought, this is for me. I hope you will all enjoy the event. Remember to use the hashtag EUYouthInfo if you want to share this event with other people online through the social media. I'm delighted to pass the floor now to my colleague Laura, who is going to launch the Youth Wiki. Thank you.
So Youth Wiki is a European Commission programme about youth policy. It's an expanding programme, and at the moment it's in 29 different countries, including Ireland. Here it's managed by Lurgos, one of the national agencies for Erasmus+, and it is funded by the European Commission and the Department of Children and Youth Affairs. In essence, it's Europe's online encyclopedia in the area of national youth policies. So it began so that if policymakers wanted to look at a specific policy area, if they were considering changing something about their country, maybe they were looking for inspiration from other countries, or just to have an idea of how the different countries compare in that area. Youth Wiki was devised to be that one-stop shop where you could compare all of the different national policies on youth areas. So we hope that it'll be of use for policymakers, but we also hope that it will be of use to researchers and to frontline workers with youth. So whether that's a youth worker or someone working in youth guidance, youth information, or lots of other roles out there, we hope that there'll be a lot on Youth Wiki that you'll be able to see and learn from. That is the link. I will be sending this presentation out so you can copy and paste the link. You can try to memorize it, or Googling Youth Wiki is probably the most efficient way. Each country, there is a national correspondent, and it's that person's job to do the research and writing about the policy areas, and making sure that all of the information is reliable and vetted and as thorough as possible is really important to us. So in Ireland, after the national correspondent has written the pieces, it goes to an editorial panel. There's two different aspects of that panel. There's an internal Lurgos panel, but we also have external experts who look at it, and they're chosen for their expertise in youth policy in general, but also because they have a specific relevance to one of the areas that Youth Wiki is focusing on that year. So it's very thoroughly vetted, and then it's put up on the website. So one of the main, the really important pieces for Youth Wiki is that it's accessible in all the different meanings of the word. So the website itself is accessible, it's free to use, you don't have to get membership or log in or anything like that, you just click and go. And the information itself is accessible in that we try to use plain English, avoid jargon. We are aware that there are people across Europe using it, a lot of people who will be accessing it in English as a second language. And we want the information to be as open and as accessible for everyone as possible. The information is primarily aimed at policymakers, youth workers, people working with youths directly or researching youth policy, but it is open to anyone who's interested, or youths themselves if they would like to find out about some of the different initiatives available for them. Most of the information is qualitative. It tends to look at reforms and trends in policy. There is some quantitative data, but we try to use quantitative data that's from European or other international sources. And the reason for that is we want it to be as comparable as possible. So to make sure that the methodologies are the same when you're comparing different pieces of information. But as I said, most is qualitative, and our sources tend to be official documents from top level authorities. Studies, surveys, analysis, evaluations, and where there's not those sources available from the authorities themselves, then we look at ones that have been commissioned by the authorities to relevant research centres, experts, and think tanks. One of the ways you can look at it is by looking at the national policies. So as I said, there's 29 countries currently in YouthWiki. You can also go by policy field. So because Ireland is one of the newer countries, we currently have 5 sections of the website, or chapters as we call them, available for Ireland. And each chapter is about a different policy field. Some of the other countries who've been involved for longer have more chapters available. So they'll have all 9. But by the end of this year, we'll have 10 chapters for Ireland as well. Another way you can look at it is by looking at the comparative overviews. So these give you a broader but faster way of comparing. They're interactive maps which illustrate the main policies. And if there's something specific that you're interested in, you can click on that country and you get more details about the programs and policies. If we were, as we had originally planned, in a venue somewhere having a national conference in person, I think this is the part where I would be asking to roll out the cake as we launch YouthWiki. Unfortunately, that's not quite possible today. So granted, they're digital, but environmentally friendly balloons. I would like to say we're very excited to be launching YouthWiki in Ireland. I think it's a program with a huge amount to offer, and I really hope that you get a huge amount from it. Thank you so much. If anyone has any questions, do please put them in the chat and I'd be delighted to answer them.
Okay, thank you very much, Laura. That was very interesting, and I'm sure a very useful tool for anyone working with young people in the youth field. I'm going to talk now about Eurodesk again. You can see this beautiful logo in my background, which was kindly designed by our colleague Zsolt from the Eurodesk office in Brussels. So you can see that Eurodesk is 30 years old and 25 years old in Europe. So just to explain maybe a little bit about Eurodesk, especially to some of you who are new to Eurodesk. So Eurodesk started in 1990 in Edinburgh as a small desk with information about Europe and European funding. And in the following years, it expanded first to the whole UK and then to other countries in Europe gradually. And Ireland was one of the first countries to join Eurodesk in 1995. Therefore, we are celebrating 25 years of Eurodesk in Ireland this year. And this event is the first event with which we would like to mark this important anniversary. So to explain Eurodesk in general, maybe just a few words. So Eurodesk is a free information service for young people and those who work with them on different opportunities for young people in Europe, on volunteering, working, traveling abroad, on internships, but also on becoming active as a young person through participation in different European and national local initiatives and programs. So Eurodesk Ireland is funded by the Erasmus Plus program and by the Department of Children and Youth Affairs. But Eurodesk is also a network, a very large network of over 1,600 of local and national offices and information points. We use this wonderful word, which is loved by the European Commission, multipliers, where when we talk about our local partners. In Ireland, we are very lucky to have experts in youth information who are members of the Eurodesk network, all the youth information centers which are run by the main youth organizations such as Youth Work Ireland, Crosscare, YMCA, We also have 5 Europe Direct information centers who work with us very closely. We also cooperate with Spoon Out, the main youth information website in Ireland, with Voluntary Service International and with Euroguidance and with many other organizations. So just to say that our multipliers do not only answer queries from young people, they're also very active in informing young people about different opportunities at information fairs, through publications, during events, and so on. And most importantly, they also support directly young people, including young people with fewer opportunities, to allow them to find out about different opportunities and to take part in them. So to illustrate Eurodesk activities in Ireland and also show many fantastic Eurodesk people, Eurodesk multipliers, we are going to share with you a small slideshow from previous years. So I hope you will enjoy it. Is on Larga's YouTube channel anyway, so you can watch the video again later. I hope it gave you a glimpse into Eurodesk activities, network meetings, our publications, as well as the very important people of Eurodesk and young people who we work for ultimately. So I hope you enjoyed the show and maybe recognize yourself in some of the pictures. Now I would like to say just a few words about the next part. So we thought that today this event is very short, it's only lasts for 1 hour. So we selected just a few activities through which we would like to show you actually a few aspects of the Eurodesk multipliers work in Ireland. So we focus very much on inclusion of young people with fewer opportunities, but we also collaborate with different agencies, with different other networks and organizations to bring all this information to young people. And as I mentioned before, we also try to translate the Euro jargon, all the communications about active citizenship and European programs into a youth-friendly language through different activities. And many of our multipliers design their own activities. I believe they are very innovative and very interesting. So today we would like to share with you just a few samples of our activities. We ask some of our multipliers to present them today. And I think they put lots of effort and work in bringing all these fantastic opportunities, activities that they run with and for young people into 5 minutes presentations. So this will be just an overview, but I hope it will give you a taste of Eurodesk and our activities in Ireland. So the first two people I would like to invite to share one of their activities. I'd like to invite Gareth Gibson and Kasia Isaiah from Youth Work Ireland, Donegal Youth Services to take the floor and present their activities.
My name is Gareth Gibson. I'm a Youth Information Manager in Donegal Youth Service, and Kasia, my colleague, is just running through the slides there for me now as we speak. So yeah, I'm really taking this opportunity today to talk to you about really how good the network of Eurodesk really is. I have to say now I've been involved personally now for probably close to 19 years. And our own organisation in Donegal Youth Service have been involved with Eurodesk for probably a few years longer than that as well. So it does bring me great pleasure to be involved with the network. I'm just so delighted to be part of such a great day today as well. And I think the concept of so many information providers working collectively to provide free information on travelling, working, studying, volunteering abroad opportunities for young people is just nothing short of being fantastic. I really do get a lot from the close and supportive working relationships that have been developed across the Irish network specifically, and it definitely has been notable over the years. So I think we've all learned so much from each other. We've shared so many great experiences and the abilities that we all have to develop some fantastic initiatives and some amazing events that ultimately are there to provide valuable information and great insight to the young people that we basically are there to serve. So I think I'll leave it at that, and I'm going to hand you over to Kasia, who's going to talk you through some of the specifics of one of our particular events that happened just last year.
Thank you, Gareth. Hello, everyone. My name is Kasia Isaiah, and I'm Youth Information Officer in Letterkenny Youth Information Center, Donegal Youth Service. Today, I want to share with you experience from last year, from Time to Move event 2019, Get Up, Go and Explore. So basically, our idea was to create like airport reality in our drop-in center. We started with boarding passes instead of regular invitations for young people. Probably for some of them that could have been the first time when they were having something similar to real boarding pass in their hands. And that's how they were starting the journey with ESC Airlines. So as you could see on that short video, there were different areas of the airport in our drop-in. So young people had to go through the security check, then check-in. Then they had chance to talk a little bit more about duty-free shop. What does it mean? There was also great opportunity to talk about Brexit and some changes that will happen in the future. In a different gates, and we had 4 gates, we were offering information and support on different topics. For example, studying abroad, volunteering, working abroad, and also young people who participated during the event, they had chance to speak with our volunteers. So that was very like hands-on experience. The whole event was focused mainly on marginalized young people, not in education, employment, or training. And that was for most of them the first time ever where they heard about European opportunities and what is available to them outside Ireland. We linked with Youthscape, with project which is working with the young people here in cross-border areas. So that was great chance to empower the young people and show them that we're here for them and we're happy to support them in their journeys. We also had great, I have to admit, great coverage in local media. There was like a huge interest from local newspapers. We were on radio. Whole team was involved in creation process. Also, people, our users, they were helping us with creating all of this posters and gadgets. So I hope you enjoyed the very short presentation, and if you have any more questions, please contact myself or Gareth, and we'll be happy to answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kasia. That was very interesting. I know the activity was really very popular with many young people attending, and I think it shows very well how you can try to encourage young people to think about going abroad, starting from very basic steps like making them familiar with going through the airport and finding out about what you need actually to book a flight and to go abroad and so on. I think it was an amazing activity. So thank you very much, Kasia and Gareth. So the next presenter is Ger Cronin from Youth Work Ireland Kildare Youth Services. We are delighted to mention as well that the activity that Ger is going to present today was designed and run by Ger herself. I think it's amazing. And also this activity received the honorable mention at Eurodesk Awards this year. So well done and congratulations. And now we're going to find out what actually happened in Youth Work Ireland Kildare Youth Services. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marjetta. Cronin, I work for Kildare Youth Services Youth Information. We did in 2019 as a network. We met activities that were taking place during the year, one being European Youth Week. And being that year, Democracy and Me, due to the European elections on the 24th of May 2009. The one question being, what would encourage you to want to vote? So we were on the theme of active. So as a result of the survey, we found that if we had more information about European elections and the EU, be more likely to vote. So this formed the basis of us developing an activity called European U. We knew this would be quite a challenge. We work with a lot of young people that normally are not that interested in politics and they don't think there's any point in voting. So we wanted to create a more interactive, fun learning environment where young people can learn about the EU and the European elections and learn the importance of democracy. So we developed the European U workshop with this in mind. We worked closely and in collaboration with Naois Outreach, and they were very interested in taking part in the activity. So 17 young people took part, ranged from age of 16 to 20. So we wanted to create an EU atmosphere. So we had lots of EU flags, we had bunting, we had posters. We created a mock polling station as part of the activity that was set in a different room, so it was quite formal. And we wanted to create that as you would find it. So we started the event off with showing a series of videos around opportunities for young people in the EU. What is the EU? How does the European Parliament work? And Ireland and the EU, and the work of an MEP within the Parliament. And this is all in relation to understanding the European election process. So young people asked a lot of questions. They seemed to be very, very interested in it and knew more than I believed that they did. And that in fact, they were happy that they had a good sense of what the European elections meant in terms of voting. what we followed up with then is a workshop, and this gave them an opportunity to discuss the issues that relate to them as young people in Ireland. So they range from from our prosperity to 12, our way of life. Now, this was a particular interesting part of the activity. Young people, you can see there were heads down. They took this very seriously. It was a chance for them to talk about issues that affect them in their life. They debated, and I think they all felt confident that their voices and opinions were heard. So in smaller groups, they debated each topic and what it meant to them. They then fed it back to the larger group. So everyone got a chance, because there was 12 priorities after all, to hear what each group had discussed and what their outcomes were. I just wanted to share with you a couple of them. There is so many, and I'd love to show you them all, but they did such great work that I thought I'd share this one. So under the priority of our rights, the right to free education, the right to free healthcare, the right to reduce cost on transport. And that was a theme kind of running through a couple of the priorities. And opportunities for young people would be less dropout rates. So I think they were talking about school, and no fees for third level or PLC courses. And that's a really good one, and I'd agree with that. So when they felt confident and happy, they knew all the priority areas and what they felt the issues really meant to them. They all got an individual sheet. So this individual sheet gave them an opportunity to really focus on what was important to them. So all the sheets that they had done in their groups were available for them to refer to. So when they were happy, they were invited into our polling station, our mock polling station. So they came in, they signed that they were going to vote. They went into their private booth, as you can see there. They made their vote, folded their paper, and put it into the ballot box. They wanted to create a whole experience of the process, of a democratic process. In addition to that, they had the option to choose to make a declaration, and such as, I am voting because I care about our planet, I'm voting because I care about my rights, or I care about opportunities for young people. And this piece was really good, because you could see at that point, they were loud and proud and really happy about the issue that they had chosen. And they were very enthusiastic about it. So this was really, really good. They then went back to their classrooms. They waited for us to tot up the results, which we did. We went into each classroom to announce. And again, the whole process seemed to just flow so nicely into the fact that they were excited, anticipating what the results would be, wanting their one to win. So when you can see from the slide, the results were announced of our rights, and it was actually a clear winner on the day. So this was a very brief overview. So I hope it gave you some feel of what was going on, and that it was part of empowering young people with information and hopefully promoting active citizenship and voting in the European elections. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ger. That was really interesting on the day, and I found it just so amazing, because I know that the topic is very challenging to bring it to young people, especially young people also from disadvantaged backgrounds and, you know, early school leavers and so on. But that went very well, and that just really shows the value of youth work and the value of the work of the Eurodesk multipliers at the local level. They're just amazing, and I think it's a great example of how to bring, you know, challenging European topic to young people at the local level in a very interesting, lively, and attractive way. So thank you very much, Ger. Our next presenter is Una Kelly from Eurodirect Ballina Slough. As I said, in Ireland, we also cooperate with 5 Eurodirect information centers, which are amazing cooperation partners, and we've been running lots of activities together for the last 5 or 6 years since they joined the network. And Una is going to present just one of them, which she ran in cooperation with, you know, the Eurodesk multiplier. So Una, the floor is yours. You can share your screen now.
Good morning from sunny Galway. I'm Una Kelly, and I'm the manager in the Eurodirect Information Centre here in Galway. So we're part of a network of 8 Eurodirect centres based in libraries across Galway. And part of what we do is we distribute information and encourage discussion on European activities. And we do that in association with the European Commission. So historically, a lot of the questions we get asked about would be on volunteering. are working, studying and living in Europe. So we get asked a lot of questions by young people. And of course, the agency who can help us out with these answers is Eurodesk. So we've been part of the network now since about 2015. So I'll just take a few minutes now to talk about some of the events and some about the benefits and best practices we've developed from being part of the network. So we have hosted information stands at school career days in secondary schools across Galway and also at job fairs. And in association with Youth Work Ireland, our good friends in Youth Work Ireland, Ballinasloe, we rolled out the EVS Roadshow. So that's now the European Solidarity Corps to schools and libraries across Galway, and that would have focused on volunteering opportunities in Europe. But by far the most engaging and successful events we've hosted are our Time to Move events. So I'll just dig into that a little bit more. So Time to Move happens in October every year, and we've been lucky to have had a lot of support from MEPs with visits and video messages from Marion Harkin and Maria Walsh. So just a little bit about the format of the day. So it takes the format of a one-day information event with presentations, information stands, and time for discussion and chat. Our audience would typically be anybody who works with young people, teachers, students themselves, youth information centres, and anybody with an interest in youth activity. We also tried to focus on young people who might not otherwise get information about mobility opportunities. So we actively seek out groups who work with marginalised communities and with early school leavers. And we've also associated with the Homeschool Network and with Citizens Information Centres. So from feedback, we discovered that one of the most important aspects of the day is the information stands, because that gives people a chance to check out and collect leaflets from each other's stands and just to have a chat with participants. So for us, in terms of positive outcomes, for us, it's amazing to be able to collect such a broad range of information at one event. It's a great opportunity to make new connections and forge new relationships, and also to raise awareness about our own organisation and to gain knowledge about others. So in terms of best practices, we've established a set of best practices from having been part of the network. And the first is actually about the importance of networking, and because it gives us access to other networks. We all work better when we communicate and share knowledge. And for us, we're on the front line of being asked questions about European information. And we find that the best way to be able to answer those questions is to know your EU bodies. So for example, if somebody asks us a question about Erasmus+, I should be able to answer the question. And if I can't answer the questions, then I know I can ring Malgorzata, and I know that she'll answer it straight away. So feedback, and this is my top tip for best practice, is if you're going to hold any kind of a day-long event, make sure that you have good food. So thank you very much. That's me.
Thank you very much, Una, for that presentation. I was at some of the events which were run by Eurodesk Ballinasloe and Youth Work Ireland Ballinasloe in previous years. They were all really, really interesting, with lots of networking, lots of follow-up as well, where our multipliers were then asked to provide presentations and information in local schools, at information fairs and so on. So there's lots of work in background, lots of networking and cooperation. The very last project, which is, well, I'm not going to say too much because I was asked by Matej and Susan actually not to do any spoilers. So I'm just going to pass you on directly to Susan Scott from Cross-Care Youth Information Services and to Mateja Jaksic from Voluntary Service International. The floor is yours. Thank you. Okay, great, thank you.
So I actually had to write up a little script and stick it on the wall in front of me so I could keep on track. So just to say that this particular project is a combination of cooperation and interagency work between ourselves and Malgorzata and Matea. So basically, my name is Susan. I work as a Youth Information Officer in Crosscare Clondalkin Youth Service. And the connection really is most of the youth information services in the country are part of the Eurodesk multiplier network. So that means we've access to a wide range of information on European opportunities for young people in Ireland in terms of volunteering, travelling, working and studying abroad. We also promote those activities. You'd see all the leaflets on the different tables at the events. We promote those options at local and national level to encourage and support young people to take them up. And in a way, that's how we've also developed a connection and a relationship with sending organisations like VSI, Voluntary Service International, who organise and match young people with suitable experiences abroad. So Matea will tell you a bit about them, and then she'll also introduce the collaborative piece of how the video came about. Thank you.
Thanks. So I am the volunteer program coordinator in VSI, and we're a peace and social justice organization working primarily through volunteering, and we're also a Eurodesk network member. So some of the volunteer programs we work on are funded by the European Union, such as European Solidarity Corps program, and it's going to be explained in a bit more detail in the video that follows. But just for the moment, I would like to tell you that this is a very inclusive program for young people from all kinds of backgrounds. And there's extra funding and extra supports available to enable young people with fewer opportunities to participate in those EU-funded projects. So just to give you an example, a person with disabilities could participate in a project with their personal assistant, or a youth group could go abroad with an accompanying person, which could be their youth worker. So hopefully we can encourage more young people to take part in the program, and VSI is here to support young people throughout their involvement with us. And we work with youth workers and with organizations to do this well. And we have some really wonderful partnerships with organizations within the Eurodesk network. So this kind of leads me onto this collaboration on the ESC promotional video we made. And we got the idea about this video at our Dublin Time to Move event last October, where we had Crosscare, Europe Direct, Youth Work Ireland and VSI, and we had some of VSI's returned volunteers talking about their experiences and highlighting benefits of volunteering abroad. And I think Susan will tell you the same, that we all were really inspired and moved by those stories, and we felt how everyone should hear those stories and about the program. So we thought of making this video, and we approached the volunteers, and they said that they were really interested in doing this as well. So we went ahead and we filmed the video. We're going to play it for you now, and we hope you enjoy it. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Susan and Matea. We spent lots of time actually, not only on the recording day with the Lost Long Designs company, but also reviewing the, I don't know how many drafts, 5 drafts of the video. But what we really wanted to achieve was to show all these experiences from young people and let young people be informed by other young people, but also inform everyone about the support that is provided by Eurodesk multipliers, in particular by VSI, who also looks after individual young people who don't have any sending organization. After we are going to launch the video, and I'm really delighted we can do it now today with so many people from all over Europe. So this is the official international launch of our new video on European Solidarity Corps today.
I'm Amy, I'm 23 years old, and I'm here just to chat a little bit about ESC, the European Solidarity Corps.
Hey, my name is Jackie Cassidy. I did European Solidarity Corps in Albania.
Hi, my name is Aaron. I'm 19, and today I'll be talking about my volunteer experience and how I found it, what I learned, and what I actually got out of it.
It's really, really well structured in that your accommodation is set in stone before you go anywhere. And the accommodation is also, you know, like it's all been checked out. It has to meet a certain standard.
The group dynamic over there was amazing. Everyone was so friendly. I know when I was over there, everyone was like, speak English to us, speak English to us. But it was also really cool because you also could learn a few languages over there.
It wasn't really a big issue. Like, you could sit down and have a conversation with them and be fine.
I suppose we're quite lucky in that we speak English and it's quite well spoken across the EU. But I think take the opportunity to speak the language of the country that you go to.
I did feel supported when I was in Albania. We had like our project director. We could have gone to him for anything, and you could literally just bring them up. We could go for coffee with them, and they would talk about like things that you'd be struggling with, things that you like, things that you don't like. They have people on the ground, but you can also talk. Like, it's so easy going to talk to the higher ups as well.
You'll have a mentor there, so if you have you obviously wouldn't know where to go, you can go to your mentor and be like, hey, right, look, I have my days off now. What would you suggest? What's around? What can I go to do? And they will advise you.
Sometimes meals are provided, but then you also get pocket money, which you can choose to do with what you want, and you're given a food allowance as well. So certain accommodations, you'll have the provisions there to be able to cook for yourself if you want.
So before you go over it, you have your pre-departure training. So that's about roughly a week or two before you go. And then when you get over there, remember we had a training, so it was basically like what we're going to be doing for the next 3 weeks. You say you go to work, but it actually doesn't feel like work, whatever. So you do that for like 5 days, and then you get like 2 days off. So it changes when you're over there, but you'll always kind of get 5 days and then 2 days off a week, say.
The application wasn't too difficult. I talked to the youth information person in my youth centre. So I went down to the main office and we talked for a bit, and we had like an interview. And then we just filled out some forms, and that was kind of just more or less it. You do not need to be in a youth organization to apply. You can apply through the website as well. Or you can go to your nearby youth information centre to also apply or to get you an interview.
When I did get in contact, I got an email back really quickly, which made me feel confident that the people who I was talking to were real and that they were friendly. And even I answered back with a question, and I got an email back within 20 minutes. And I just felt like I could ask anything, and there was no presumption that you should know everything. Everyone is taken to be at the same level. And that's what I really liked about it.
I wanted to do something with online, working with social media and working with computers mostly, and I found a project that was based in Croatia that feel like it suited me, so I went for that one.
I'm really happy now that, like, you know, I can learn more about the European Solidarity Corps, and I get to talk to so many people and hear so many stories, and like I get all the information set out for me. So that's a really positive experience, and you know, it's definitely something that I look forward to doing in the future.
My biggest advice for someone who's going is to just do it. Don't really hesitate, just go for it. I think that you'll like, when you go there, you'll be on crazy adventures. You'll meet amazing new people.
I think self-growth is the biggest thing that I took away from it, because when you go on a volunteering experience, you think that you're going there and you're going to help these people, and it creates an us and them. And I think the biggest thing that I took away from it is that it isn't us and them, that it is this sort of sense of collective solidarity. And believe it or not, regardless of skin color or culture, at the end of the day, we're all quite the same. And I learned so much about myself then on these trips away and these journeys, and that I learned how resilient I was, because it's difficult. I'd never lie to anybody and say it was all roses and we just had the crack and the whole lot, but it's emotive inside, if you get me. Like, your feelings, you feel everything and anything, and the growth that you get from that, and being able to come back and be confident, and like, it just changes your life altogether. Like, I was an early school leaver. I didn't do my leaving cert or anything like that, and I thought there was a certain path then made for me. And then I bumped into the youth worker who said to me, "Would you ever try this thing?" And I was thinking, yeah, right, that's not for me. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not for people like me. And she said, "Oh no, but it actually is." And once she set me on that journey, then I haven't stopped. The ball has just kept rolling. And I think what I've learned about myself is that I am such a strong, resilient woman. And I would never change that about myself. And I don't think I would know half the things I know about myself if it wasn't for doing this experience. And that's the biggest thing that I took back from all my volunteering trips, is that self-growth, I think, in life is key. And it took this to show me. And I'd never go back. I loved it.
My name is Susan. I work for Crosscare Clondalkin Youth Service. I'm the Youth Information Officer, and our role as part of the Eurodesk network is to tell you that there's lots of people out there to help you avail of this program or any other programs, and that come and ask for the information, and we will provide you with a range of supports to prepare you to take up such an opportunity.
Hi, my name is Małgorzata Fiedel-Davis, and I've been working as the Eurodesk Ireland coordinator with Largas, the national agency of the Erasmus Plus program and the European Solidarity Corps program. One of our priorities is to be inclusive and to support young people in accessing opportunities to study, to work, to volunteer abroad, especially young people with fewer opportunities.
My name is Matea, and I work with Volunteer Service International, and we are a standing and coordinating organization for European Solidarity Corps projects. So if you're interested in volunteering in another country in the EU, or now with a new program you can actually volunteer in Ireland, you can get in touch with me and I can help you find the right project for you, or I can help you arrange a project just for yourself if you have not managed to find something that would really suit your skills or your interests.
Thank you very much for watching the launch of the new video with basically 2 minutes. So I just would like to thank all the young people who took part in the project, asking and answering questions. I would like to ask Matea and Susan and Locals Design for working with us on this project. I also would like to thank all the presenters today who put in enormous efforts to prepare a presentation in a very short time, in sometimes change working arrangements, and everyone who attended the event today. And last but not least, my lovely colleague Laura, who also prepared this event with me, who actually was very patient with all the last minute changes and so on. I hope you enjoyed the event. So please feel free to share the video and
We're getting a few questions in about where the different centres are for Eurodesk.
You can go to eurodesk.ie website, and we have a section with a Google map with all the current Eurodesk centres in Ireland. And also, yeah, please feel free to contact either myself, eurodesk@largas.ie, or any of the centres if you are interested in finding out more about Eurodesk, about the work we are doing, but also if you're interested maybe in joining the Eurodesk network, your organization, or collaborating with any of the local youth information centres, or if you have young people who are looking for information, please refer them to Eurodesk Ireland. Yeah, thank you.
There's some really nice comments coming in, so thank you for all of those. And thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it.